Oh, let's go. What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome into CHGO Bulls Postgame. Coming to you live from our studios here in the West Loop, downtown. 12:04 a.m. Chicago time. I'm Peck. That's Big Dave. Will the Goat Gottlieb. Our pal producer Joey Spath is on the controls. We are CHGO_Bulls. Thank you for joining us late tonight. Big Dave, are you laughing at our friend Clem's comment?
TV, the French Bulls TV.
I mean, it's not 150. Yeah. It's 141 points allowed.
141, but they scored 132. So it's hard for me to be mad at a team that it has LeBron James and Anthony Davis on it doing that to you. But when Nas Reed and those teams are scoring 150 on you, that's a different monster.
Yeah. Are we not allowed to be upset that part of it included D'Angelo Russell going off?
But here's the thing: if he hadn't been doing
13 from three,
if he hadn't been doing this up to this point, then yes. But he has been killing these past few games. So
he has been playing better recently.
Yeah. But I understand. Hey, y'all get it? 141 points.
It was the season high for opponents' points allowed by the Bulls thus far this season. So there's that.
Okay, all right.
I believe also the highest field goal percentage allowed by the Bulls to an opponent this season. Mm-hmm. The Lakers shot 60.9% from the field. They made 53 field goals. 20 of those 53 made field goals were from behind the three-point line, where they shot 64.5%.
Like, come on, dog.
Like that adds up to allowing 141 points. The Bulls scoring 132 is hilarious, but the Lakers shooting that well, and the Bulls with just some inexcusably dumb turnovers, and this is the result we're left with.
Yeah, they take this L, and it started from the beginning. They were just hot. And you thought that at the half, where I believe the Lakers were 11-17 from the three-point line at the half, and were basically the only reason they were killing because the Bulls are winning pretty much every other category.
At one point, I believe in the third quarter, D'Angelo Russell with 8 had as many made threes as the Bulls as a team, which was also 8.
7-22 at that half. Go ahead.
D'Angelo Russell was at one point 8 of 11, and the Bulls were 8 of 28.
There it is. Like, yeah. Like, I mean, damn, they was just kicking the ass whooping. Who was it? Was it Vanderbilt who was 7-7 for like 14 points at one point? Like, yeah, man, like it was just out of control. They were super duper hot. Very rare for any team, not just the Lakers, very rare for any team to get that hot and just go off on you like that for an entire game. Usually you might see it for a half, but the entire game, they just went absolutely insane.
And
so
the crazy part is they are not a three-point shooting team.
Exactly.
No. They were
tonight.
They're last in the league in attempts. They're 20th in the league in three-point percentage, and yet they shot 64.5%, which was a season high for them. Percentage-wise, second most threes in a game that they've made this year.
Season high,
and
I'm shocked.
I mean, it's not even that the Bulls were just like giving up a bunch of wide-open shots. Like I felt like they were contesting. D'Angelo Russell hit 2 just heat check threes that had no business going up, let alone going in.
The first heat check was insane. The second heat check was like, what? How? And then there was actually the third heat check, which was his end of the third quarter or end of halftime buzzer beater. I can't remember.
It was third quarter.
And yeah, which was like a 3/4 length court shot that he almost banked in.
Yeah.
He just had the Michael Secret stuff going tonight, apparently.
The secret stuff.
And that's what happens. I mean, these teams, even like the poor shooting teams, if you get hot and you make 23s in a game, you are probably going to win. Teams this year who have made 23s in a game are 57-9. So that's
pretty good record.
Pretty good record.
Not a bad record at all.
Pretty good record when you
super duper hot, man.
Drill 23s. The Bulls ended up with 12 of 37, so shooting low 30s percentage wise on fewer makes. You know,
but decent volume.
Hmm?
But decent volume.
Decent volume.
They had to start chucking to
Yeah.
kind of keep themselves in
But,
that game.
you know, the Bulls still lose the 3-point battle tonight by 24 points. So there that is. And then points off turnovers, I don't know if it ended up being as bad as it was at halftime. Okay, so the Bulls evened it up a little bit, and probably some of that had to do with that fourth quarter run when the Lakers were a little bit more lax with the ball. But the Lakers also had an 18-4 edge at halftime in points off turnovers. I mean, like, again, this has been a team, one of the few strengths the Bulls have had offensively this season is protecting the basketball, keeping those turnover numbers down. And tonight, it was just like guys making passes to their teammates who weren't even looking.
Yeah.
Just, you know, trying to force entry passes that weren't there.
Yeah.
I mean, just dumb stuff. that
Yeah.
You just kind of shake your head and you're frustrated about, because, like, if the Bulls cut down on some of those dumb turnovers, especially in the first half, maybe this is more of a game than it was.
Yeah, the communication was definitely off. The one where Coby is trying to pass to Ayo, and Ayo's moving off the baseline, and he clearly wants him to still to stand right there. Like, that communication was off. Like you mentioned, the passes ahead that nobody was really looking for. Two, just off the top of my head, I remember one was from Drummond, and one was from, I believe, Coby, who was just throwing it ahead to Ayo, and nobody was looking for the ball. Luckily, they held on to it. The last 3 minutes of the second quarter, I think, pretty much summed that up as far as the turnovers were concerned.
The whole
because
game,
they
really.
just started, but it really was that moment
that.
right
I think
there
the Lakers
that they
finished
pulled that away.
the second quarter on a 12-0 run.
Exactly, and that's why it was just turnovers were happening. They finished the damn quarter with a turnover, so they just continued to happen for them, hitting those threes, and that was the game for you. And it continued on as you went to the third, as you went to the fourth, man. So yeah, turnovers and ridiculously hot 3-point shooting. You're gonna take that L.
Do you guys feel like they played, obviously, like, defensively, you're giving up that many points. Some of that is just luck of make or miss kind of league. But to me, it did not feel like they played super poorly. If you look at just like some of their other indicators, I mean, they were fantastic from the free throw line, 26 of 29, compared to the Lakers, 15 of 20. They had 12 offensive rebounds, which is something that they have really been prioritizing. They still shot well from the field, obviously not enough to keep pace with the Lakers. DeMar had his first really good game in a while, I would say. He had 32 points, 10 of 14 shooting, 11 of 12 at the free throw line.
That's old
You could
school
tell from
DeMar.
the beginning he was
11
going
of
for
12
40.
from the free throw line. He's barely been going to the free throw line at all recently.
From the
It's
first quarter, you
the
could tell he was going for 40.
First
You can
time
see it.
he's been in double-digit free throw attempts since December 14th. So over a month and a half. And yeah, I've been kind of like quietly putting these in my articles recently of just like, man, DeMar is kind of not looking quite the same. Like his shooting efficiency is down. He's not making his shots. He's turning the ball over in late game scenarios. Like, I don't know. It just feels like he's not quite that same superhuman force that he was certainly 2 years ago, but last year, even to a certain extent, that decline, I think, is starting to come for him a little bit. But clearly there are nights where he can still really get it
Drop it
going.
on
And
you. Yeah.
doesn't hurt that was against his hometown team.
No, it didn't hurt at all. And you could tell he and Caruso had a little extra juice tonight playing against L.A. Obviously, one is a hometown, the other one winning the championship, going against LeBron. Like, coming out of the gate, Caruso was taking those shots, and playing that defense. So, yeah, they were hyped up, but they couldn't hit. Coby White was not on his thing as far as the three-point shooting is concerned.
Yeah, just 3 of 10 behind the three-point line for Coby tonight.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, it's just, when you shooting it like that and you got another team that is absolutely lights out, just ridiculous lights out, this is how it happened. So it's funny that it ended up 141-132, which is what you keep laughing at, because the fact they picked up that 132 shooting like that and it's still a 9-point victory, it's like, wow, okay. But of course it doesn't feel like that. We watched the whole game. We know that game was pretty much over early on. But yeah, man, like that kind of shooting, I just chalk those kind of games up. When you're shooting like that, like that's just unreal and not something that is usually sustainable.
Yeah, and so we'll see like how much they, take away from this. There's kind of the whole meme about like AK putting too much value into close losses. And obviously the Bulls got this one to be within 10 points. You do have to credit them for like not really going away. But yeah, that second quarter I think just was kind of the end of it. And the rest of the way they were just like, I don't know. It felt like they could have pulled their starters early in the fourth quarter.
I'm glad that's where you're going with that, because some of us were sitting there saying, yo, Billy, why is Coby still in this game? Why is DeMar still in this game? Yeah, they made a little half-spirited comeback, in the middle of the fourth quarter to make the final score more respectable, but it's not like they had even enough ticks left on the clock to actually try to complete that comeback. And, you pointed out as we were watching it, the reminder that Coby and DeMar are among the league leaders in minutes played this season. You're, on game 2 of a 3-game road trip. Maybe you just throw that one. But I guess credit to them that they didn't completely throw in the towel and give up. But Anthony in the comments said, how many times are we going to say this team wasn't ready to play or needed better energy? It's unacceptable.
I didn't even feel that, though. Like, I just thought they took an ass whooping against a team that was red hot.
The first quarter was back and forth.
Yeah.
Both teams were playing well.
Like
both
5 lead
offenses
changes.
hummed well. It was just like the second quarter, like it was just like a slippery slope that started to go worse and worse for the Bulls. The Lakers kept hitting. The Bulls kept turning the ball over. Shout out to our guy, Frederick Bulls TV, who said, I thought defense was awful all night. No physicality, no communication, no closeouts. Too easily beaten on pick and rolls. It was bad. I noticed you pointed out at least one of them with a video you posted, Will, of the Lakers and LeBron specifically kind of picking on Coby with some switches and some mismatches. In your opinion, is there anything you would have liked to see Billy do differently? Maybe make an in-game adjustment on sort of what the defensive schemes were that he was running out there to try to stop the bleeding or at least slow the bleeding of this uncharacteristically hot night from a Lakers team that's not known for hitting that many threes.
Yeah, the tricky part was if you're pointing out that specific run at the end of the second quarter, which is when a lot of the damage in this game was done, it was just turnovers leading to the Bulls not being matched up the way they wanted to be in transition. And then you get Austin Reeves and LeBron running a pick and roll. You get Coby switched on to LeBron. You get LeBron in the post where he's able to make a play for himself or somebody else. And, you could call it timeout in there. You could send more help. But the Bulls, like I've asked this question before, they stand on their scheme. And their scheme is to switch everything 1 through 4. Sometimes they switch 1 through 5, and we saw that a little bit tonight with Drummond. But Billy put Drummond and Vooch in together, which is not something he normally does. He at one point actually put Coby on LeBron, or I don't know if this was just intentional or if it was just matched up that way. But there were a couple possessions where Coby was just the one on LeBron, and I think the reason behind that is that he was trying to avoid bringing 2 to the ball to where you can draw switches for AD. So I don't know. I think people are frustrated with Billy online. I don't there's always more that a coach can do, and I don't want to take that away from them. The one area where I do criticize him on this one was that you're down 23 in this game, and you've got the number 1 and number 2 players in the league in minutes played. You're playing them both mid-40s.
Yep.
Coby 43 minutes, DeMar 41.
My God.
That's my biggest criticism.
Oh, my God.
But the Lakers were just on fire. And
right.
they were making contested shots, and the Bulls were turning the ball over. It's just really difficult to win a game and be competitive in a game where that's the case. It's a tough thing to do.
The Bulls shot 53.5% from the field. Only 32.5% from 3. Okay, but on, as you said, Will, a decent volume. They also they also made 26 free throws. Their score by quarter, 32, 25, 36, 39. And you still lose.
Yeah.
This is not necessarily a playing badly game. This is the Lakers went crazy and the Bulls, that second quarter, the 25 sticks out, and it was largely due to unforced turnovers and unforced errors. And the Lakers absolutely converting on those.
Yeah, and it feels like Billy also left these guys in because the Lakers still had their guys in. LeBron's still in the game.
LeBron and AD were out there
game.
with 3 minutes left.
Yeah, they're still playing.
Trying to protect what was a dwindling lead.
Yeah, I'm sure, because I'm sure Billy's thinking, well, if they're out there, then those guys are going to be out there.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that's the right thing, because it damn sure wasn't. You should have sat those guys down. We knew the game was a wrap. But I'm thinking that was his mindset. Fine, they're out there, then you guys are going to be out there playing too.
Chase and Ashlyn in the comments. Why can't Billy Donovan figure out what to do when the Bulls have these games where they play like garbage for a whole quarter? We can never seem to stop the bleeding. That's coaching.
Ooh.
Or it's the Lakers shooting 65% from 3 while the Bulls make passes to players / teammates who aren't looking at where the ball is coming from.
And you talk about attacking Coby.
You're right. That's totally Billy's fault.
The other guy they definitely attacked was Patrick Williams. he was attacked.
Oh my God.
by LeBron James.
I've seen P. Will supporter in the comments yelling about how horribly Billy coached this game tonight. No mention of Pat. No mention of Pat, P. Will supporter. How do we feel about him tonight? 6 points on 2 of 9, 0 of 5 from downtown. But yeah, no. Let's harp on Billy getting out coached tonight.
No, it wasn't that. Patrick definitely didn't have that shit at all. And
He got cooked.
I mean, cooked.
He got cooked.
Fried. Fricasseed. However you want to say it. But it was weird because I've seen him play better against LeBron. Like, I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've watched it happen. Because, again, this is why LeBron would give him compliments. He's not just throwing compliments out to anybody. He would throw a compliment out, too. But this just looked like, man, dude, like, you just shouldn't even be on this level with LeBron James. And it wasn't like he was putting extra moves on him or anything like that. Posting you up, hitting tough shots. 3-point shot because you're leaving me and late getting back to me. Here's a bucket for you. I'm going to cross you over because I'll do the same one every single time. And I'm going to go to the bucket. He couldn't stop him. The turnaround that he hit was absolutely vicious. Mm-hmm. Now, I'll give him that one. That was disgusting. That was just greatness happening in front of your face. But they continue to attack him, and they continue to attack Coby. Like, they pointed and they pointed those two guys out. Like, these are the guys we're coming after. Usually it's DeMar, that guys are going to point out and come after. But tonight it wasn't that. I don't know what they saw in Patrick, but they were correct tonight.
Yeah, it's a bad game. He's not going to play well every game.
Yeah.
He's had some moments recently where he looked good. He's had some moments where he has not looked as good. I feel like I've kind of beaten a dead horse with this, that just like
hit it again, Will.
He's like not a great player, so he's not going to play great all the time. He's a young player who's inconsistent. He had a tough matchup trying to guard LeBron freaking James, and sometimes it doesn't go your way. Most times against LeBron, it does not go your way. I think it's fair to say most times against LeBron, it does not go your way.
Yeah, when you play a guy like that, you kind of want to not match him point for point, but your play has to at least do a little something. You know what I mean? If LeBron's going to put up 30 on you, can you give me like 18? You know what I mean? 18 and 6 or something like that, where you got to keep him honest. He didn't have to be honest tonight. He just was like, I don't feel like it. I'm going to be LeBron James.
Yeah. The other thing is, like, he was 0 for 5 on threes. That's pretty uncharacteristic.
Yeah, that's true.
He started the season shooting really terribly. He then got super duper hot. Now the number is probably pulling back towards what the average will be. Like, he's not going to go 0 for 5 every night on threes. And if you go 1 or 2, now you're looking at 12 points instead of 6. And it's a different game we're talking about.
Yeah,
so a lot of this is just like make or miss league.
Make or miss league.
The Lakers made a lot tonight.
A lot.
D'Angelo Russell, come on, really?
Go on, Joey.
Bulls killer. You know what that means. He's going to be putting on a Bulls jersey any day now.
Him and Furkan Korkmaz.
Well, I do. Can I just add one small quick thing before the ad break?
Sure.
Because it's on a more positive note. I do think it's a silver lining.
Silver line me, Joe.
For tonight's game, and that's that we do not have to see the Lakers again, being that they are, of course, not in our division.
Decent chance that we won't even have to watch them in a playoff series come April.
Ooh, now that's a peck silver lining.
Sweet.
If you're going to go for it, you got to throw that in there too, man.
I think coming into tonight,
KYP, sir.
They were 22 and 23 and tied in the 9th seed in the West.
Yes.
So, I mean,
they're an up and down team.
You know they'll do something at the deadline.
Sure.
To try to, appease the great one.
No, they're coming. They're coming after DeJounte Murray for sure.
Dude, yeah, I know.
They're coming after him, man. So,
anyone wondering if even if the Bulls wanted that Rui and D'Lo package,
that appease the great
they got.
It was fucking awesome.
Okay, with that, let us take our first break. Before we dive into some ads, a reminder, if you missed pregame while we were hanging out and you didn't see the news on Twitter or Instagram yet, we just dropped a brand new CHGO Bulls piece of the merch locker today, and it's showing love to the best part of our season so far, and it is the wonderful, the one and only Sub-Zero.
I can't wait to feel it on my
Coby.
skin.
Oh, I love this shirt.
It is awesome, man.
As we established a pregame, credit to you and Joey, who both chimed in with some artistic offerings, suggestions to our creative artistic crew over in DNVR. It is available in that CHGO merch locker. Grab one now. I'm probably going to grab one. I'm probably going to grab 5.
Yeah, they're running. I mean, I'm not saying they're running out. You got time, but I was looking at it today, man.
Yeah?
If you're a certain size,
Yeah.
you might want to get on it. That's all I'm telling you right now.
Shop quickly.
You might want to get on it, man.
Also, CHGO diehards, of course, get that 20% discount every time you shop at the merch locker. If you aren't a diehard yet, great opportunity. Sign up now, because when you sign up to become a diehard, you get a free shirt of your choice.
Yes.
Pick the awesome new Sub-Zero one. Speaking of Kobe,
Yes.
he is our DraftKings King of the Game tonight, gentlemen. Post-game brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook.
Shout out.
Oh, what a wonderful time of the year for betting. We've got NBA coming down to the back half of the season. We've got NFL playoffs, conference championships on Sunday. What I can't get enough of, the action, of course, but also things off the court spice up when I get my betting done at DraftKings Sportsbook. Official partner of the NBA, also official partner of the NFL playoffs if you're getting ready to make some bets on Sunday. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Download that DraftKings Sportsbook app with promo code CHGO. New customers can bet just $5 again on any NBA action, a player prop, a money line, point total, over, under, whatever you want. And even if the bet doesn't hit, just for putting $5 on an NBA game, you are getting $200 in free bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with that promo code CHGO. The crown is yours.
Is it?
The crown is also Coby White's tonight, because he is our DraftKings King of the Game. Other than his kind of cold night, and 3 of 10. But like for Kobe this season, 3 of 10 is like, off night behind the 3-point line. Did some work on the boards. And I think somebody, I can't remember who said it in the comments, it might have been our friends at C-Red UK, said just the Kobe blow-by on LeBron tonight was like the highlight of a night where
the reverse,
not a lot went right for Bulls fans. But man, even on an okay night shooting, Kobe had some special moves to the rack.
I love these moments when he has... I'm not saying I love this game for him, and obviously I would like him to shoot better and hope he shoots better in the future. But I like it when it's not going for him. He can still give you 25 points. It wasn't like that before. But now he has so many different things in his game that allow him to get these kind of points, like this, man. And for me, that's good, because you're going to need that shit, because you're not always going to be hot.
Right.
So can you still give me these points, give me these rebounds, and do these kind of things to help this team try to win? And Kobe keeps showing that he damn sure can.
Reason why? 6 of 7 from the free throw line. His
There it
ability
is.
to
Boom.
get downhill, draw contact,
There you go.
has improved so much this year. And 8 of 18 is not an efficient scoring night. 3 of 10 from 3 is not up to his standards, but he's able to carry his efficiency by getting to the free throw line a bunch.
Awesome.
I mean, man, that and one he had tonight, beautiful. He is your DraftKings King of the Game, Sir Alec Jacoby White. Don't forget that promo code when you sign up at DraftKings. It's CHGO. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net.
It's like that.
It's like that.
You know what else it's like?
What?
These hardwood floors.
Ooh.
Why? Because they look awesome.
Sure do.
And I'm sure yours look awesome too. But guess what? You might need a little work or two on it. Just a little bit. You should rock with Empire today. Why? Because all they do is floors, no matter what.
Floors
That's
on my
it.
mind.
Floors on their mind. They'll never give it up. And every time they step into the building, guarantee you their prices won't go up. They won't stay there. With Empire today, you get to shop at home convenience, the right product for your needs, quick and professional installation, and of course, the low price guarantee. Empire today is the best place to get new flooring. So of course, and I mean of course, they're going to have copycats. But Empire can't be beaten. Nope. On quality. Service. Nope. Speed. So competitors advertise low quality products that Empire simply will not carry. I'm breaking the goat over here, and it's awesome. Empire won't promise the lowest prices, because anyone who does that is putting trash flooring on your floor, and they wouldn't do it to themselves. So Empire, like, why would we do to you what we wouldn't do to our own thing? That's the kind of people you want working for you, man, who actually care about you like that. Empire's like that. They keep shopping for floors simple with a curated product selection. And of course, their philosophy is a beautiful one. It is to help. It is to help you find what you need, not to overwhelm you with all thousands of choices and substitutes. Anybody can sign it. Seinfeld, shout out. But yes, Empire product team works exhaustively to comb through thousands of product samples each year to find that perfect style. They also have the virtual floor designer. It's a great way to see how those new floors will look in your home. Just snap that photo and instantly, cello, you get a base. You see how the new floors will look in your room. And you know, some people want to go shop at those big box stores. You know, they're running some 15-year-old named Corey who just started working the other day. Can I help you today? What can I do for you? Acne, you know what I'm saying, all on his face. You know what I mean? That's the.
Damn, why are you coming at Corey like
I mean, that's how Corey do, man, because he's upsetting. I don't want to see that when I'm trying to get my new floors. You know what I mean? That's all.
Catching
I just don't want to
strays.
see it when I catch that. That's how Corey right. It makes Joey upset. Joey don't want to see that ever. That's not how he roll. Joey Spathis wants the floors right and tight. And the only place he can get them is Empire Today because they pride themselves on their convenient shop-at-home service. Oh, they're wonderful. So schedule a free in-home estimate today. All listeners can receive $350 off. You heard what I said. $350 off discount when they use the promo code CHGO. Restrictions apply. See EmpireToday.com/CHGO for more details. 588-2300. Go!
Empire Today.
Boom! I'm doing it all because I'm the GOAT.
Javon Carter.
Going up and ain't coming down.
We got a few people giving Io a shout out for his game tonight in the comments. Clout and Chase and Ashland. Yeah, I mean, and just another wonderful night for Io. 30 minutes off the bench, 6 of 11, also 4 of 4 at the free throw line for 18 points.
Awesome.
He's been having these 15 to 20 point nights
Yes.
regularly off the bench in this stretch. It's great. It is also interesting tonight. Speaking of Io's 30 minutes, and you touched on all of the minutes the starters played well. Io played 30. Drummond played 17. Javon Carter, 8. Dalen Terry, 3. Has Billy's rotation been weirdly shrinking for the last week and a half in this stretch of games? Why?
Getting even shorter with 2 rotation players out of the lineup. I mean, you're missing Zach. You're missing Torrey Craig still. Drummond played, pretty good minutes for what he is, but yeah, Patrick Williams down to 24 minutes. It just does not seem like Billy has the same kind of trust in him as he does with Io when Io's playing this way, and it's hard to blame him.
Yeah.
But really, I mean, this team came into the season with so much depth, it felt like, and when guys start dropping like flies, that's kind of what happens. So
Well, we were talking about Io potentially not being a regular part of the rotation
It's crazy
coming
how-
into preseason.
it's crazy how good he is.
Yeah.
It's crazy how good he is.
And conversely, how Javon Carter has been.
That's been such a surprise.
Man.
It's funny because I was thinking in my head, what's the biggest surprise? Is it Io doing what he's doing, or is it Javon Carter? And for me, it feels like it's Javon Carter because I thought there would be a consistency to it. I'm like, fine, you're not having a good game. It's all for you. Okay, it happens. But man, it's been constantly.
Maybe
like, my
it's
goodness.
not to defend Javon Carter, who just, let's be real, has not been a great positive impact on this team so far. Half a season into his Bulls tenure. It could be that he's sort of doomed by that Bulls fans who were looking and hoping for more in the offseason as far as transactions, free agent additions, trades, put too much emphasis and importance on what role Javon Carter could provide on this team. And I am certainly even guilty of that to some degree as someone who was curious enough to want to at least see a sample of Javon Carter in the starting 5 in preseason. Just because it's a new piece, we all knew that the big 3 and them all playing together, it didn't work well. The small sample size to start the season of the same old starting 5 from last season was not going well, just like it always was not going well. So toss it in there, but maybe expectations greater than the player you actually had added into your rotation. But I feel like there was a better version of Javon in Milwaukee than this.
And I disagree with that only because when the Bulls got off to that terrible 5-14 start, he was literally one of the bright spots. Javon Carter got off to a really good start. And remember, I would come on here and say, stop taking him out. If he's cooking, leave him in the game because he would come out and hit 3 or 4 of those threes, but only end up playing 11 minutes, and you wouldn't see him again like that. this is what's happening to him recently as the team has started to play better and look like an NBA team and win more games. He's kind of fallen off. And again, the one that really has surprised me is the defense more than anything, because I remember him. That was what he really would hang his hat on, is being just a disruptor. Like, he would guard guys full court. I remember that, like, all the time. That's what he did. He would guard you full court. And now it just seems like guys are just going right through his chest. You saw Vanderbilt do it. Like, just went right through him and got an and one and finished at the rim. And that's what's more surprising to me than any of this. Like, shooting, yeah, like, people have tough nights. You know what I mean? It happens. You're just cold. It can go down like that. But it feels like that defense is really just not clicking for him. Now, maybe it's something that's a combo package. Maybe my defense is predicated by how my offense is going. But at the same time, I just don't know him to be that kind of player. I just know him to be that bulldog kind of dude on the defensive end who can step in that corner and hit that corner three. I haven't seen him take corner threes in a long while. Like, everything is at the top of the key or from the elbow when he's taking these shots.
And even at the elbow tonight, he had that same possession where he, like, had an open look, thought about it, nope, fake,
Yeah.
pat, nope, thought about it again,
Yeah.
and then pass it off. And then he finally took one, like, one or two possessions later, and he airballed
And
it.
he airballed it. Yeah, man. Like, he's really trying to find his rhythm in this, and it's hard to when you're not scoring because I can't have you in the game like that. So, I don't know. It's just a weird position that he's kind of in.
1,000% agree. And it's even more prominent when you look at the numbers. I mean, he shot 42% on threes last year.
Right.
That's like outstandingly good. He's shooting 34% this year. And I think a big piece of that is, one, he's obviously a much smaller guy. And so he's not really able to, like, create his own shot off the dribble.
Right.
Not that he has the opportunities to when he's playing alongside, multiple shot creators. He's sharing the court with Coby or DeMar. And it's like, where do you put him defensively? And now there's all this pressure on him to basically come in, and if he's playing 10 minutes a game, to make his shots. And it's hard to do that, to catch a rhythm as a shooter who can't really, like, rely on, I'm just going to get to the basket this time, get a layup, see the ball go in, and now I'll have a little bit more confidence. Or get to the free throw line and see a free throw go in, and now I have a little bit more confidence. He doesn't really have that in his game. And it's not like a criticism. It's just an opportunities thing.
Right.
So he has to rely on making threes.
Yeah.
And if you're not making threes, it's hard to get in a rhythm. You have to shoot your way out of it. And if you're not getting a lot of minutes because you're not making your shots, it's hard to shoot your way out of it.
Correct.
So that's why I think you see him getting shots up a lot. Look, we talked to him recently in practice, and he is just like straightforward looking at, I'm doing the work. I'm coming in every single day before and after practice, before and after games, to get my shots up, shooting. I'm staying in a rhythm as best as I can. He's like just completely focused on being a valuable member of this team, whether he's playing or not. His attitude and mentality from that standpoint is like really impressive, the way he talks about it. And I believe that he is a good enough shooter that he'll get himself into a hot stretch, but it just has been a tough go. And it's hard for Billy to rely on him and put him in for extended minutes if he's not making the shots.
It's that simple.
South Garcon in the comments said, I'll say this about Carter, playmaking not a strength of his, as you were just kind of alluding to, Will. He's really just a shooter and pit bull defender, but as Dave, you were saying, where's that defense been? Yeah. South Garcon adding their wrinkle of kind of explains why Miami ran through that Bucks team with him at point guard. Clout in the comments, happy that you brought up his defense, Dave. It is somebody else who just said he's overpaid. Javon Jay Lee said Javon Carter's overpaid. Wow. And it's crazy, like, okay, the Bulls are probably, if they do what we expect them to do, going to make a couple of mid to low tier free agent signings to stay under the luxury tax last offseason. Javon Carter was one of those signings, and you're like, all right, well, the 40% shooting, if he can come in here and provide some of that, maybe also provide some perimeter defense, then maybe that's a value contract that the Bulls just signed.
Yeah.
But the lack of rhythm, and he said something even early this season about, like, I got to play more minutes to get more of a rhythm.
He sure
going.
did say that, yeah. And that might be in his head too when he walks in. It's just immediately starts chucking up shots. He says that, well, I know he's going to take me out soon, so maybe
like, that
could be.
When he is a lethal transition, catch and shoot, off the ball threat, you don't see him hesitate ever. It's why we started joking about how obvious it was that when Javon, with the ball found its way to Javon, that ball's going up.
Going up, baby.
Now, even, especially tonight, multiple examples of you seeing him second guess whether or not he should shoot that rock.
Yeah.
And then
That's weird.
Once that's in then the rhythm just goes away entirely.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you're a rhythm shooter, then you're not a shooter
the rhythm of
because
the night.
your rhythm is off.
It's true.
Yes.
And it's completely thrown. And I think the greatest example is the one you brought up. Is him, should I shoot this now? Get
Mars
it back
getting
in?
on him.
No.
Yep.
Yeah, and then do it now. But then when he got it that once and then shot it and it was just a complete air ball, it was like, man, dude, it's tough to watch because I know we've seen him be good. You know,
We've seen him be confident. Is
yes,
what we've seen.
that
And
word.
it's just not,
yes, we've seen it be like
not
that for
there.
him, and it's just not clicking for him yet, man. So he's got time to get it together, but man, I don't know how many time on the floor he's going to have, to get it together because that thing is open right now for him and for other guys like Dalen Terry. And when guys like Zach and Torrey Craig come back, the window is just going to close even more, as far as that if your shooting is still going to be like that.
I mean, the Bulls got dominated today with size. And so
Yeah.
it's hard to justify putting in a 6-foot guy in to defend D'Angelo Russell when he's making 8 out of 13 threes.
So
It's a tough situation. And you mentioned the contract, Matt. $6 billion this year, 6.5 next year, just under 7 the year after that. Player option on that third year. Like, if he's unable to play and the Bulls are in this tight cap situation, like, they're going to have to look to see if they can either attach him in a deal to get off that money or figure out another way to make that work, because we've been talking about it. Like, the money is the lowest common denominator here. That is something that they're not going to budge on, is the luxury tax. So if they want to retain their guys and they feel happy with these competitive losses, like, they have to clear out some space to be able to bring everybody back.
Yeah, should be interesting.
Sorry, the phrase competitive losses just sent me there.
Competitive losses?
Outside the division, though, does that matter?
No, it so matters whether or not it's in the division.
It matters.
If you miss pregame, you don't get that joke. Let's knock out our second ad break, then we'll come back. And speaking of maybe tossing Javon Carter into a trade package, I did want to touch a little bit more on trade stuff, especially with this Lakers team we saw tonight, who are stuck in a battle in that Western Conference playoff and play-in picture, because
Trade stuff is
there's
the
been all
wheelhouse.
kinds of talk about the Lakers and maybe looking the Bulls' direction for a variety of pieces. And DeMar played pretty well tonight.
He did.
For the second time against the Lakers this season.
He did. He loves playing against them, man.
Let's put a pin in that, and then we'll come back to it. While we're sharing these words, you know what to do. Hit that thumbs up if you're hanging out with us on YouTube. We appreciate it. We appreciate you hanging out late with us. 12:40 a.m. Central Standard Time. We're doing a post-game show live because F it, why not? Bulls fans are diehard. Appreciate y'all.
Thank y'all, man.
CHGO Bulls postgame tonight brought to you by our friends at Ray Chevy.
Not Ray.
Our partner Ray Chevrolet is ringing in the new year with their best offers all month long. Make your way to Ray Chevrolet on Route 12 in Fox Lake to join on the savings and start your Ray resolution. As one of the top-selling Chevy dealers in the Midwest, you'll always be able to shop one of Chicagoland's largest Chevy inventories. But right now, they're trying to make room for inbound 2024 models. Bring in the new stuff. So, what does that mean? All their current inventory, get out of here. Right into your driveway, /garage, /park it on the street, wherever your neighborhood is. Plus, you can find the perfect tailgate vehicle at Ray Chevy because they have over 100 new Silverados with prices starting as low as $19,495. Or take up to $10,000 off a new 2023 Silverado. To top it off, they're pricing over 125 vehicles under $20,000. Seriously, guys, can pricing get more affordable?
I don't think you could.
Don't think so? I think you're right. I don't think it can, except for the fact that when you go to the dealership, they might even be able to find you more savings than the wonderful price offer that you found online. That's the Ray price promise. The price you see on their dealership website will never be higher with any trick fees or hidden fees when you go to the dealership and say, hey, I want that Silverado, or I want that one, I want that one. No, it will be the same price you see online unless they find you even more savings when you walk in the door. Wow. You can also get a free oil change. Just mention CHGO Bulls when you go visit Ray Chevrolet. Bless you, Joseph, in Fox Lake, or visit the website And that oil change is free. Start your new year off right. Visit Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake or raychevrolet.com to start your A resolution. They've been serving the community since 1963. Find new roads.
That's right.
Then drive on them.
It's right there.
Dave? Do you want to talk about ComEd real quick?
No, Matt.
You don't?
I would love to talk about ComEd real
you
quick.
scared me for a second.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Woo! Palpitating. Dave, it's getting easier for businesses to switch to electric vehicles. That's something we can all get behind for the health of the planet, for the well-being of all of us who share it.
Yeah. The electric grid is evolving to meet your cleaner energy needs as we move with confidence towards an electric tomorrow. Whether you have one delivery van, shout out Lisa, or you have a fleet of shipping trucks, George, shout out George, ComEd can help guide you to make the changes that make sense.
That's right, Dave. But let me ask you this.
Sure.
What should business owners do about that?
I'm so glad you asked me that right there, man. Thank you very much. Go to ComEd.com/clean to learn more about the resources, fleet rebates, and infrastructure incentives available to help businesses go electric. If you own a business, as Matt Peck says,
Good for you.
and also don't wait. Start making your plan today to switch to electric vehicles. Good for business, good for the planet, good for all of us. Go to ComEd.com/clean.
Did you say ComEd.com/clean?
That's like what I said, ComEd.com/clean. Learn, yes, and go now and see how going electric connects us to a better way of doing business and a better future for generations to come. Shout out Baby Joey.
Hey, you got to learn with your brain
Learn and go now.
and your
That's right.
energy
Do both. And your mind, too.
and your truck, too.
That's right, your truck, too.
Gentlemen, because tonight was just like a kind of game.
Sure.
Lakers caught fire. Bulls turned the ball over. I thought we could spend the last few minutes just talking a little bit about Bulls-Lakers February 8th trade deadline.
Okay.
We touched on it on, I think, our Tuesday show, Dave, you, me, and Mark K, that Andre Drummond's name popped up as a big that the Lakers might be looking for to add to their front court depth for this back half of season push. We have also heard from multiple sources, from multiple avenues all season long that, maybe Zach LaVine for Rui and D'Lo and a 2029 first. You can't have Austin Reeves. That's been there. But the other thing that seemingly almost always attached to the Zach, Rui, D'Lo, 2029 first, but probably not, is, who the Lakers would probably really want is DeMar DeRozan and or Alex Caruso. I still think that if the Bulls are going to explore something that is other than, it's not necessarily anybody's fault why this is, or maybe it is, but it sucks. We're not going to trade Zach for a bag of peanuts. Nobody wants Zach right now. We're not going to trade him just
Anybody
to
want the
less is
peanut?
more trade. Maybe if the Bulls front office actually looks themselves in the frickin' mirror and sees what this team and this season is, and the Lakers are calling them and offering them legitimate stuff for DeMar and or Alex Caruso. And I know, Will, you and Mark K talked about it in your HQ yesterday with Caruso and whether or not the Bulls can afford to lose him. To me, maybe DeMar's easier. I don't know. Mark K still thinks that DeMar is essential to what the Bulls are trying to do right now. I think you have to consider letting either or both of those guys go if the Lakers bring you something real.
Can you rewind for a second? Because I think what you said is really important here, which is that for what the Bulls are trying to do, what the Bulls are trying to do is have competitive games, is make the play-in tournament. And Caruso and DeMar and Drummond give you the best chance to do that. So we can sit here and disagree with that direction, but that doesn't change what the Bulls want to do. And I think it's fair for us to come on here and express our disagreement with that. But I think we also need to be prepared. And when I say that, I mean people in the comments, people listening, fans of the Bulls in general. I think there's a real possibility that there is no move here. I think clearing out money to bring back everybody else is the key that they're focused on. And I think that starts and ends with Zach LaVine. And I don't know how real this stuff is with the Pistons that we talked about pregame. Joe Cowley reported today in his postgame column that those conversations were a little bit overblown. So who knows about just how real those are? But I think that's what it's going to be. Like this has been reported that AK wants to see what the team is like after they trade Zach, and I just don't know what they do now. Should they? I think absolutely. I think if you're able to get something for your veteran minimum center who's about to leave in free agency, you probably should do something about that. So it just comes down to like, what do we think they're going to do versus what do we want them to do? And I think for some of us, those are very different things.
No, you're right. They're absolutely different things. When he brought up the Drummond trade, I was like, yeah, sure. I'd absolutely be open to that for sure. It's a backup center, as you mentioned, that's going to be leaving in free agency because he wants another big contract. And he's right to want that, So it's not going to happen here for him on that. So, yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with that at all. I've been trying to trade Caruso for about a year now. So, yeah, I don't have a problem with that one at all. I do agree with Mark K when he talks about DeMar and him being essential to what the Bulls are really trying to do.
100%.
He's absolutely right on that, and which is why I don't even think about trades for DeMar DeRozan because I'm like, he's not going anywhere. Like, he's too essential, and two, he's too beloved.
Okay, but let me cut you off here and ask you this question. Let's say, so DeMar is extension eligible up until June 30th.
Okay.
After that, he becomes an unrestricted free agent. If between today, January 26th, and February 8th trade deadline, you get an indication that he is either leaning towards going into free agency or he is unwilling to sign here, like, does that change your mind at all? Or do you want to kind of overpay to bring him back to secure this, group for
if you're letting me know you don't want to be here, then I will do whatever's in my power to let you go elsewhere.
Okay.
I have no problem with that. Like, yeah, you don't want to be here? Cool. All right.
Which is why, and look, it's a silly conspiracy theory, and it only holds as much water as 2 games, and even then, it's silly. I noticed that DeMar followed up his first game against the Lakers this season, which was a win, and 27-9, I believe.
Okay.
With 32-10 tonight.
Okay.
Part of me, and it's a cynical part, we all know that's a big part.
Yeah.
Thinks that there is a version of DeMar who was like, I'm going to ball out twice against the Lakers.
Okay.
We played the Lakers twice before the trade deadline. We'll see how this season goes. We all know it was widely reported and verified from DeMar himself that what he really wanted to do in the summer offseason of 2021 was go home to L.A. and sign with the Lakers. He thought that's what was going to happen. And then instead, the Lakers quickly pivoted and were like, oh, we're going to bring in Westbrook instead. And it blew up in their face, and it was hilarious. But DeMar wanted to go home to L.A. He thought he was going to go home to L.A. The Bulls gave him a fatter paycheck and a solid role on a team that they were going to say, this is competitive. You have to assume that there is a part of DeMar who still wants to go at some point and play in LA before his career is over. And even if the Lakers say, DeMar, we don't know if we're going to be able to sign you on a lucrative multi-year deal this summer, but even if the Lakers get their shit together and DeMar helps them do that to the extent of a playoff run for his hometown team, why would DeMar not want to do that?
Well, I think we've seen the recipe with these guys, and not to say that DeMar would fall into this category because I think he's pushed back a lot on that when asked by reporters. But the blueprint is you get the money and then run. Like you sign the bag, and if you're Zach LaVine, you sign the max with the Bulls, and then you ask out in a year. If you are Damian Lillard, you sign for the Supermax, and then you ask out. I mean, this is not like a new thing that has just started. DeMar is a super loyal guy, and I don't think he's like itching to leave. But if you're asking him if he would rather go play on the taxpayer mid-level exception for $6.5 million to go play for the Lakers next year, or get $25-30 million from the Bulls and then have the ability to ask for a trade after that to go to the Lakers, I think my gut tells me that he would probably lean towards the latter and take the money and then try to figure out the rest later. Because I don't think he's like itching to leave. I think he recognizes that this is not a situation where he's going to win a championship. And so ultimately, maybe that does become the most important thing to him. But, I think he still feels like he can play for a long time in this league.
Sure.
And if he can get another 2 or 3 year contract for $90 million and then go ring chasing after that, or get that money and then get traded to the Lakers next year, I think that sounds like the preferable option from my standpoint.
It's going to be interesting. I think the biggest word you brought up is that he's a loyalist.
He really is.
He's a loyal guy. And that's something I definitely understand. Like, I'm loyal to a fault. So I get that. But when you're a loyalist, certain things like money don't really come into play. You're just more so on, who you are as a person. Like, this is my pride. This is who I am as a human being. Doesn't matter what you're giving me. I'm loyal to you and I'm loyal to this. I don't know what he feels going into the offseason, if he wants to go back, if he wants to stay, or however it goes. But whoever he feels where his loyalty lies, that's who he's going to go with. His loyalty also is contingent upon his contract ending.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It is also that once my contract is over, he understands it's a business. And he said he got the education in Toronto when he got traded to San Antonio. So that aspect is in his brain as well. Like, I understand it's a business. Anybody can go. Anybody can be traded. So he's kind of holding a lot of the cards, in this situation. You got a team, as you keep alluding to, AK and Eversley feel like they want him back and want him to be back with the team. He likes it here. He said it a million times how much he likes it here and enjoys Chicago. And Chicago has shown him nothing but the love that he has well earned and well deserved.
That's true.
So, but also there's the place, like you keep pointing to, Matt, there's no place like home.
Yeah.
There's nothing like it, especially playing for a team that you grew up idolizing and wanting to play for. The Clippers, he was willing to play for. They just didn't want to give him the money.
A few in the comments saying that they see him as a better fit with the Clippers.
Right.
I'm not sure I agree,
But it doesn't matter. It was the LA team.
It's a home thing.
Yeah, it's a home thing. Correct. What is he more loyal to on this one? And that's, I think, what we'll find out. Because I think the money's important. I don't think it's as important to him. I think his loyalty and those kind of things as a man are more important to him than that check. Now, I'm not saying it's not, because that's a lot of damn money.
The thing with the Bulls, though, is that he gets both, right?
Yeah.
He gets to stay loyal to the Bulls, and he gets the check.
Yeah.
And he gets the opportunity.
But it's the
He's
feeling,
not
though.
going to be...
It's also what do I feel like I'm going to be comfortable at, too. I think he's at the level right now, Will, where it's about the comfort right now.
Yeah.
Because you're at, year 15?
Something like that.
Yeah, at this point in time, it's about, dude, where am I comfortable at? Because the checks have been made. Of course, I like getting bread. Nothing wrong with that. But where can I be comfortable at, too?
Yeah, my point is, and it's impossible to just, get inside DeMar's mind and figure that out.
Sure.
But I feel like he has the option to have it both ways, which is to say that he could get the money and then also ask for a trade to a certain place. And I think that is a real possibility.
Does he command that leverage? Like DeMar, if you're DeMar and you say what I want most to win a championship, so I'm gonna take $30 million from the Bulls and then try and force my way to what team I want. Like I don't think that I don't think at that caliber of player that he is, and there's no evidence he would do that. But I'm saying I don't understand what the thought process behind that would be. He could easily I just don't
think he's that kind of player.
I don't think so either. But
we said that about Dame too until he wasn't. It's
That's
like
true.
we don't know.
That's true.
What he's gonna want.
I just don't. I don't know. My point is that does that get DeMar, if that's what he wants? Does that guarantee him that he's gonna be on a team that's gonna compete for a championship? It would seem more logical for him to sign outright with, if that's his true priority, then put it in the hands of the Bulls, who are also showing right now we're not going to trade our guys unless we like the return.
Yeah.
I think the Bulls are
a big risk.
also desperate to retain him, so I think they're willing to overpay relative to what the market, not to say that he's not worth that much money, but relative to what the market dictates would be, the amount that he would get from any average team. So I just think it's a tricky situation. I think he does hold a lot of the cards, just the fact that he is potentially unrestricted. And, I said this last year with Vooch, and I think it's true here again too, even though I was wrong last year, which was that I expected a Vooch extension to come soon after the trade deadline. Because he was not traded, it made sense that an extension would come pretty soon. And obviously they waited until the summer, until I think it was the day before free agency started.
Yep.
But they got that extension done, and it was because the Bulls wanted to make it clear that they did not want him to entertain other offers, other opportunities, whether that was for less money but to go play for a more competitive team.
Right.
So what did they do? They offered him $60 million over 3 years, and that's probably more than he could have gotten from any other team.
Sure.
And so it was we'll pay you what is like the most you're worth because we want you to come back. And I think it's going to be the same story with DeMar.
Yeah.
We'll see. The Lakers, I'm guessing, will be aggressive in every possible way they can between now and February 8th, assuming that over the next 2 weeks they continue to just sort of float somewhere between 7th and 10th in the West.
Yeah, it sounds like they're really like locked in on DeJounte Murray.
Right.
If that domino falls elsewhere, I think that's when they start to.
If a different team swoops in and
Terry
takes
Rozier's off
DeJounte
the
Murray in a
board.
trade, then maybe you start to see some Lakers-Bulls talk ramping up.
Correct.
And we'll be here for it if it does. But that will do it for us tonight. Thank
Real
you,
quick,
everybody.
I want to give a shout out here to two super.
I saw it. Our super chat function is
The
broken.
super chats weren't coming through normally tonight,
Okay.
so P. Will just AK side is P. Will ankle still an issue, doesn't look right since coming back, appears to be struggling mentally. I don't know if you guys have
Patrick
anything about that.
denies being injured, let alone having those injuries affect him. Like he refuses to make excuses. If he's out there, he's out there. So
So hard no on that one.
maybe, but he would never say that.
And then another shout out, C-Red UK. I know it's a loss, but can we get an honorary Goon of the Night for the international fans? 6 a.m. here in the UK now, and we have to start the day like this. Even book the
That's
day
crazy.
off of work so we could watch. I mean,
Wow.
it's not up to me,
Thank
but I
you.
will run it by the official Goon of the Night committee head.
Well, I give you plenty of love.
Yes.
For doing that. That's incredible. That's wild. That's crazy. You get all the love I got right now is
Mine
what I'm
too.
going to give to
You
you,
can have
sir.
it.
You got that. And his too, and a little of the goats as well. A little from
100%.
Joseph. Put it up in a blender, drink it down, smooth going
A little
down,
sea
and
moss?
delicious.
No. No championship belt, though.
No Goon tonight.
It's not a Goon of the Night night.
not a Goon of the Night.
It's just not. All right.
But if they won, you definitely would have gotten that.
Thank you
sure.
for hanging out with us, especially you international fans who I don't know what time of the night or morning it is where you are.
Early.
Bless your hearts. Enjoy your Saturday, everybody. Actually, enjoy your Friday and Saturday. We
Yes.
are off for the next couple of days. We'll be back Sunday when the Bulls finish their 3-game road trip in Portland. No pregame. We will be here for postgame after that 8 p.m. tip-off. So have a wonderful start to your weekend. Stay safe. In the meantime, Will_Gottlieb is where you can find all this man's Bulls reporting and updates. AllCHGO.com is where you can find all of his wonderful Bulls writing. Our pal and producer, Joey Spathis, is at Joey Spathis. Big Dave Bow, BAWL Sports. I'm Bulls_Peck. We are CHGO_Bulls. Ben Dean said it's 4 p.m. here.
Yeah.
That's such a normal time, Ben Dean.
Well, Prince Bulls TV says 7 a.m.
Get
normal
yourselves
at all.
those new Sub-Zero shirts that just dropped in the CHGO merch locker today.
Yes.
Get your tickets to the CHGO Bulls Takeover.
Yes.
February 6th, Bulls Wolves. Come hang out with us. We will talk to you on Sunday. See you, Red. Be good.
Love y'all. Peace.